Hi, good evening. So today I wanted to talk to you about finances. I know a lot of you are probably drowning in debt over rehab bills and program bills and things like that over your adult child, and maybe some of you are just in debt over other things. I wanted to give you some tips on how to get yourself out of debt, what to focus on, and so I'd like to go over some of that with you tonight. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Sally Harris, and I help desperate moms of defiant adult children. I help them regain their own life by implementing strategies and techniques into their own life to produce peace and hope for the mom. So let's dive in. So I don't know if you've ever seen this, but it's called a financial compass. I used to be a financial coach. I was certified through the Dave Ramsey Group out of Nashville, Tennessee. And I had a small business doing that for several years. And this is also something that I implement with my moms. It's something that I'm able to help them out. Not everyone has the issue, so it doesn't fall into everybody's category. But for those that need it, I'm able to give them that guidance as well. And so the financial compass, basically, if you can see these things here, so here's the north, south, east, west, right? So these things around the compass, your financial compass, are the things that we need to focus on, right? So again, if you're married, ideally you should be doing this with your spouse, and this will help you kind of guide you as far as finances. So saving money is huge, right? That's one of the main focuses on your compass. Living on less than you make, that is a very smart concept that a lot of people don't do. And I'll admit that I don't know that we did either. In fact, a little backstory is I was always the type of person that could never make a budget. It was too hard. Everyone that I made never worked. I'm like, oh, I can do that. And then within 2 weeks, I'm like, oh, this stinks. Didn't work. Until I found Dave Ramsey's plan. And some of you may have heard it's called Financial Peace University. You'll hear it in a lot of churches, but even outside the church, his website, you can check him out. He's amazing. He had a radio show and so forth. So saving money, living on less than you make, that there's life after debt, because I've helped a lot of families. I've seen some crazy stories that I won't even go into, but where literally you feel like you're drowning in debt, and that there is life after that, and you can get out of it. An agreed on purpose cash flow plan, which fancy word for budget, just that you agree on it every month, okay? Giving, of course, whether you give to your church or whoever you give to, I think it's important that we all give. And then the four walls. And the four walls are something that, the four walls are crucial, especially if you're in debt, because these are the four things that you need to be focusing on. So let's say you do have these bills from a rehab or a program or whatever. What you need to do is you need to focus on your own four walls, okay? What those are, it's food, it's shelter, it's clothing, and transportation. So food, if you listen to Dave Ramsey at all, he talks about beans and rice, because literally you need to just do the bare minimum. You need to survive, you need to eat, but that's not where all your money should be going. Shelter, you need to pay your rent. If you're renting, you need to pay your mortgage. And along with the shelter comes, the insurance for your house. If you own a home, obviously you have insurance, you have your utilities. That kind of falls under shelter. Clothing, obviously within reason. That's without just saying, right? Transportation. So your car, you may not have the best car, but it runs, right? And hopefully it's paid for, but if it's not, you make your car payment and your car insurance. And that's what that category goes into. So those are your four walls. Your first goal is to get current with those four things. He taught us that, if you have a whole crazy load of credit card debt, and you only have enough money to go around to cover these four walls, then that's what gets paid. Credit card companies can wait, okay? You need to take care of yourself. If you pay a lot of people make the mistake. If you pay your credit card bill, but you don't pay your mortgage, well, the credit card company may be calling you faster than the mortgage company, but at the end of the day, you're going to lose your home versus, a bump in your credit and whatnot. So that's a whole nother story. But keeping in mind that those 4 walls are so crucial. And then on this financial compass, these magnets, and these are the things that pull us away from focusing on what we should be focusing on focusing on our budget, on our plan. And he teaches a zero-based budget, which was perfect for me. That's how literally I remember it was 2006 when I made the first budget, and I still literally have the same Excel spreadsheet, and I just keep making a new tab for every month. So that's been 14 years. And I've been living like that ever since. And it's been great for us. It just takes a little getting used to, but once you get used to it, it makes life so much easier. So the magnets, these things on the compass that pull us away from our focus of what our focus should be, are that the fact that the US is the most marketed country in the world. I think we all know that. Just turn on the TV, right? And so there's that want, like think of all those stores like need it now, or, it's all about you and things like that. Those types of marketing techniques that they use. The stressful communication between husband and wife. Money causes, I believe it's the number 1 reason for divorce. I mean, it can cause a lot of problems if you're not on the same page. Again, agreeing on that cash flow plan, so agreeing on your monthly budget. And a budget is not something that you sit down and do one time and say, okay, we're good. Like this has to be done every single month. So, because your income, it may stay the same. It may, maybe you're on commission, so that varies, things like that. So there are a lot of variables for sure. Highly effective marketing of credit. That goes without saying too. Think of your kids who are entering college and they're being marketed credit cards probably while they're still in high school now. I know in college when my daughter went, there's booths. They're trying to get you to sign up because they want to get you ingrained in that world right away. Emotional stress is another one. That's huge because finances causes a lot of stress. Emotional, which as we know turns to physical stress. Lack of knowledge, which is huge because that in and of itself, without the knowledge, I mean, knowledge is power, right? Once you know what you're doing and you're able to implement it, it's going to just relieve so much stress. And for you moms who are struggling with the debt due to your child, due to rehab or a program or whatever, that is adding to your mound of stress that you're already feeling because of your child. And it doesn't need to be that way. So if you just had a plan put in place, it does alleviate a lot of stress. And then, the number 1 is kids of all ages. They're pulling us away from our plan to create a budget, and they want this and they want that. So those types of things. So I hope that helps. So those are the 4 walls, the things that pull us away from focusing on what we need to be doing with our money and how we should be doing it. And then tomorrow I want to talk about the Dave Ramsey baby steps. So these are the steps that I was taught by him, and also how I taught my clients, and I still teach my moms how to go about. And I'll probably make like just an example budget so you can kind of see, for those of you that are not familiar with it at all. It's really it's an easy, great process. So go through the baby steps, how you should be organizing your money, like what you should be paying off first, things like that. So we'll talk about that tomorrow, but I will put a link below to my discovery link for my call. It's a free call to kind of deep dive into what's going on with your child and how I can help. So hope you have a great evening, and I'll see you later. Thanks.